The Senate Finance Committee to order. It's Tuesday, March 9th, 2021, members. Good morning. Beautiful day outside. For the record, we do have a quorum. And before us, we have Senate File 1156, the COVID-19 vaccine bill by Senator Benson. There is an A8 amendment. Senator Benson and members, the fiscal note is reflective of the A8 amendment. So Senator Benson, are you going to testify from there?
Madam Chair, if
fine.
that's all right with you.
Absolutely.
Madam Chair, I would like to move Senate File 1156 to be before the committee. And I'd like to move the A8 amendment that does bring the appropriation in line with the fiscal note. Madam Chair, I'll just do a big bill summary. The federal government is doing a match on COVID vaccine administration that raises MA reimbursement to Medicare rates. Our state responsibility is out of the general fund to provide some of that matching money. This only applies to the fee-for-service population, and there is some IT costs associated with making this move. And so those are incorporated in the fiscal note as reflected in the A8 amendment.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Benson. I do not, members, you do have the fiscal note in front of you. I think she explained that very well. I'll give you a moment to take a look at that fiscal note and see if you have any questions. And if you, members, are there any questions? Let's move the A8 amendment on Senator Benson's motion to adopt the A8 amendment. All those, please turn on your video and your audio. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion prevails. Amendment is adopted. And Senator Benson, we do have Mr. Albrecht and Ms. Kavanaugh before us too. If there's any questions, I'll give you a moment to take a look at the bill. I did have a question, seriously, Senator Benson, on the fiscal note. On page 4, it talks about 83% of MA fee-for-service vaccinations will be eligible for the higher Medicare rate. That's interesting where they got that 83%. I was just wondering how, if you happen to know. If you didn't, that's.
Madam Chair, I think there's some interactivity. They presume that there'll be some people. So if you're dual eligible, then this doesn't apply. So if you're Medicare, Medicaid eligible, this doesn't apply. They presume a percentage of the population isn't going to take this vaccine. So I think that's where some of the interactivity comes from.
Okay. And then the other question, just I do have questions, but I also want members to have a chance to take a look at this. On page 5, in addition to the initial development costs cited above, the systems changes required in this bill will result in increased ongoing maintenance and operation costs, estimated annually 20% of the total initial development cost. And it just seems like, you know,
Madam Chair,
yes, Senator Benson.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of good ideas that are going to be interfered with by systems work. And so one of my challenges on one of the bills we heard yesterday in my committee is that the department seems to be able to do systems work when they want to and absorb the cost. But as soon as we ask for systems work, then the cost shows up in a fiscal note. So this is going to be an ongoing challenge. They're also going to have to do cleanup work after this is done. And so that's all incorporated in this fiscal note. And yes, we need to support our IT systems and we need to have them accurately reflect the policies we pass. But sometimes I feel like there's sort of just an add-on, a plus up on some of these fiscal notes. They're awfully precise and it feels like maybe they're just plussing up some numbers, but I'm not going to quibble, Madam Chair, on this particular fiscal note. It's a bigger DHS systems issue.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. We do have Mr. Albrecht that, Mr. Albrecht.
Senator Benson and Madam Chair, that text is in, that text that you cited, Madam Chair, is in.
Mr. Albrecht, we cannot hear you. You are mumbly.
But you can't hear my voice?
Your voice. Perhaps try it again.
That text that you cited is inconsistent with the rest of the fiscal note. There are no ongoing system costs.
Can you guys understand that? Not at all.
He said there are,
Mr. Albrecht, we cannot understand a word you're saying, basically.
Madam
Maybe
Chair.
Senator Benson did.
Madam Chair, I think he said there are no ongoing costs, but
These are one time.
these are one time, but there is an undoing cost. I don't think that's a word, but
Yep, right.
there is, when they have to undo this, those charges are incorporated.
Of
Madam-
$22,075 precise.
It's
Of
very
un-
precise.
Mr. Nauman, can you help us out here?
If I might, I was able to hear what Mr. Albrecht said. He said that the language that Senator Benson cited was inconsistent with the rest of the fiscal note, in that there were no ongoing system costs reflected in the fiscal note.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It may be on our end that we're having problems. This does not seem to be.
Madam Chair, can I ask, were you able to hear me?
Yes, but not as well as we have in the past, Mr. Nauman.
Okay,
So, interesting.
I will talk less.
Are there any further questions? Oh, and Senator Benson, you have a date that this needs to be done by, effective date of April 1st, 2021,
Madam
or
Chair,
upon federal approval.
there are ongoing changes at the federal level, and there may in fact be a 100% match for Medicare rates. And to be honest, I don't know if that has been settled yet, but if this is effective by April 1st, then our rates, as they exist on April 1st, would be eligible for 100% federal match, and it might give us some relief on general fund appropriations, but
Okay.
that is to be seen.
Okay. Okay. Are there any further questions? Senator Ingebrigtsen.
Thank you. I'm looking for my hat. But being I found you, I don't need my hat. I see. Does that work? That doesn't work either.
Members, we are in a new room, so we're having buyer's remorse right now.
Okay, all right. Boy, that was,
Senator Ingebrigtsen.
the question better be good, correct, Madam Chair? Madam Chair, to the bill, Senator has been talking the last couple of days about the dollars that are coming on this new, and I know you're dealing with the dollars you have now, but is that going to make a big difference at all? Or are you going to have to do anything different with this bill, or will it affect this bill at all, the new dollars that are coming, or is that just kind of a guess on everybody's part so far?
Senator Benson.
And Madam Chair, this bill actually needs to be in place by time certain so that when they move to the federal match, it matches the rates that are in our law. And so there is interactivity, but the federal money coming in is not a reason to wait to pass this bill.
Okay, super. Okay, any further questions? All right, on Senator Benson's motion, that Senate File 1156 as amended.
Madam Chair, I don't
Yes,
think we
Senator Benson?
voted on the amendment yet.
Yes, we did.
Did we? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. I see Dallas nodding. I should mark adopted on my amendments, like good staff would do. Thank you.
Senator Benson, would you like to make the motion?
Madam Chair, I move that Senate File 1156 as amended be recommended pass and placed on general orders.
On that motion, members, audio on, unmute. All those in favor on that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion prevails. Members, we have a meeting on Thursday, and we have Senator Marty's Senate File 1089, the local units of government FEMA reimbursement requirement. So with that, that was probably the shortest finance hearing we've had in a very long time. Thank you, Senator Benson, for this very good bill, and we are adjourned.